You check your bank account on a Tuesday and feel completely confused. You make decent money, you're not buying ridiculous stuff, and you're trying to be responsible. Yet somehow, you have exactly $47 left until Friday. Here is what is actually happening to your money. You are being slowly bled to death, $15 at a time, by a subscription economy that is mathematically engineered to make you perpetually broke. If you were to guess how much you spend on monthly subscriptions, you'd probably say around $86. But a recent study tracking thousands of budgets found something absolutely terrifying. The average American is actually hemorrhaging $273 a month. That is over $3,200 a year vanishing from your account for apps and services you don't even own. My name is Rose, and today we are going to expose the most insidious wealth transfer in modern history. We are going to break down how we transitioned from an ownership economy to a rental economy, how companies use basic psychology to bypass your brain's defense mechanisms, and why this system has essentially turned us into digital peasants paying constant tribute to tech lords. To understand the trap, you have to look at how your grandparents lived. They bought a car and drove it for 15 years. They bought a house and lived in it for 30 years. They bought a television and watched it until the screen literally died. The core principle was simple. They owned their stuff. Today, you lease your car, rent your apartment, stream your entertainment, and subscribe to your software. You own nothing. And the companies that convinced you this was convenient are laughing all the way to the bank. This isn't just about Netflix and Spotify. The average household now pays for 4.3 different streaming services. People will spend 20 minutes comparison shopping to save $3 on toilet paper, but they will sign up for a streaming service they'll use twice and forget to cancel it for 18 months. And it is not just entertainment. Your clothes are becoming subscriptions with services like Stitch Fix. Your furniture is becoming a subscription. We even have people subscribing to coffee delivery services for $25 a month for coffee that costs $8 at the grocery store because they've outsourced the basic human task of buying coffee to an algorithm. So why do we fall for this? Why do smart people voluntarily sign up to bleed cash? It all comes down to a psychological phenomenon called the pain of paying. Your brain processes $15 a month very differently than it processes $180 per year or $1,800 over 10 years. The subscription economy has trained us to think exclusively in monthly payments instead of total costs. When a company breaks a massive expense down into a $15 monthly chunk, it falls below your brain's threat detection threshold. Each subscription seems reasonable in isolation, but death by 1,000 cuts is still death. The gym industry is the absolute master of this manipulation. The average gym membership costs $60 per month, which is $720 a year. People won't cancel them because canceling feels like admitting defeat, like giving up on your health. So instead, you keep the membership as a monthly reminder of your good intentions, literally paying $60 a month for the privilege of feeling bad about yourself. This brings us to the darkest part of the subscription economy. It has created a new form of digital feudalism. In the Middle Ages, peasants worked the land and paid rent to the lords who owned everything. Today, the tech companies are the lords who own the platforms, the software, and the infrastructure, and you are the peasant working to pay them rent for access. You are generating wealth for them while staying perpetually broke yourself. Take software as a perfect example. Adobe Creative Suite used to cost $1,200. Once you bought it, you owned it and used it for years. Now they charge you $60 per month forever. Over 5 years, you will pay $3,600 for software you could have purchased once for $1,200. But here is the evil genius part. They don't just want your money, they want your dependence. All your projects and creative work are locked into their ecosystem. If you stop paying, you can't even open your own files. They have essentially taken your creative output hostage and are charging you ransom every month to access your own work. While you're renting everything, these companies are converting your monthly payments into permanent assets. Netflix uses your monthly payments to produce content and acquire studios. Amazon uses your Prime subscription fees to build warehouses and delivery networks. They are accumulating assets while you accumulate monthly bills. Now, let's talk about the opportunity cost, because this is where the real wealth destruction happens. Every dollar that flows out of your account in subscription fees is a dollar that could have been building equity, earning compound interest, or creating actual value in your life. Let's go back to that $273 a month the average American is spending on subscriptions to things you don't own. You might think, Rose, $273 isn't that much money. Let's run the math. If you took that exact $273 every month and invested it in a basic S&P 500 index fund instead of giving it to streaming platforms and software companies, history shows you'd average about an 8 to 10% annual return. Over a 40-year working career, that $273 a month compounds to over $1.4 million. Let me repeat that so it sinks in. You're literally trading your millionaire status for the convenience of watching recycled content and not owning your own stuff. You are funding corporate empires at the direct expense of your own financial freedom. They have convinced you that ownership is a burden, that maintenance is a hassle, and that keeping your options open by renting month to month is smart. But keeping your options open is keeping you poor. Ownership is freedom. When you own your car, you can drive it without mileage restrictions. When you own your software, you use it forever without monthly fees. Subscriptions are the exact opposite of freedom. They are ongoing obligations that never end. So here is exactly what you're going to do to escape this trap. Tonight, when you get home, pull up your bank statements and add up every single recurring charge, every streaming service, every app, every monthly payment for things you don't actually own. Write down that total number and multiply it by 12. That is how much of your financial future you are voluntarily giving away every single year. Then cancel everything you absolutely need. Keep one streaming service. Cancel the gym membership you're not using and buy some weights you can own forever. Stop renting software and look for alternatives you can buy outright. Choose ownership over convenience. The subscription economy desperately wants you to think ownership is outdated, but ownership is exactly how wealth is built. Every monthly payment you eliminate is money you can invest in assets that actually belong to you. Stop being a permanent renter of your own life. Your future self will thank you when you're financially free instead of financially subscribed to everyone else's wealth. If this video completely changed how you look at those harmless $15 monthly charges, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and share this with someone who needs to audit their subscriptions today. I'll see you in the next one.